Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Minnesota State High School League Adapted Soccer Games of the Week, Week 7, final week of soccer before playoffs. Yes, I believe so. I believe this
Sounds
is.
about right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the final week before we get into the CI playoffs. And, yeah, this has been a good soccer season. We've had quite a few draws, actually. Let's see. Let me get my notepad up real quickly because I always forget to do that. Um, we haven't had a draw in the PI division, but we've had quite a few draws in the CI division. It's been a great season. Just wanted to take a little time prior to this video to reflect on just how good of a season it's been. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say on that regard, but I just wanted to reflect a little on how great of a season this has been. There's a few teams with 2 draws. There's 3 teams in CI and 2 teams with PI going into the final week undefeated. No losses on their record. That, of course, being in the CI division, North Tartan, STMA Buffalo Monticello, and South Washington. While on the PI side of things, it's Park Maple Grove Osseo and South Suburban. And yeah, with that, let's just get right on to the games of the week. Starting with the Monday games, non-game of the week, we've got in the CI Southeast, South Suburban Jets at St. Paul Johnson Governors. Um, I know they played before. I don't remember what the score was. Do you have that up, Reese?
I do not.
Okay,
I
I'm getting it up
was
now. Then I'm getting it up now. Then I know you're
yeah,
kind
I
of
was
busy
busy.
with college stuff.
But
Yeah, I know you're busy with college stuff here, so I'm fine with doing the brunt of the talking. That's fine. Let's see here. What am I looking for? Looking for.
South Suburban St. Paul
Yep,
Jansen,
that is
Southeast.
correct. We are okay. So South Suburban beat St. Paul Johnson 4-0 in their previous bout, battle, fight, match. Match was the word I was looking for that entire time. And yeah, South Suburban coming off of a tough loss to a very good Dakota United team. That was a 6-2 loss. St. Paul Johnson, they're 0-7. Uh, they're coming off of 3 straight games where they've scored exactly 1 goal in all 3 of them combined. And that 1 goal came against South Washington. Yeah, we'll see what they can do against South Suburban this time around. It is in St. Paul Johnson.
Yep.
Could be a factor. We'll see. And yeah, that's pretty much all I've got for that game. Moving on to the CI Southwest, we've got the Southern Stars at Minnetonka Wayzata Lakers, and I believe these 2 teams have also played before. Once the adapted website loads, I'll be able to.
I got I I got it pulled up.
Oh, you
And
got it pulled
yeah,
up now.
I'm having some issues too where it's just
Oh, is
not
it taking a while to load?
loading. Maybe if I try on my computer real quick.
All right, I got it up.
Got it? Okay.
Yep, the Southern Stars in their first game beat Minnetonka Wayzata by a score of 14-2. I haven't seen anything from Minnetonka Wayzata to dispute the fact that it could go the same way or might not go the same way. We'll have to wait and see, of course, but the Southern Stars team has looked like the best team in the Southwest by a country mile, and if they win this game, they go undefeated in their conference and pretty much have a straight shot to state. Yeah, the Southern Stars team is a really good team, but again, it's the CI Southwest, probably the weakest division. It's between the Southwest and Northeast. We'll see what the Southern Stars will do when it gets to playoff and state time.
I'm giving the crown to the weakest division to the Southwest for sure.
Southwest, okay, yeah, that's fair.
Because let me pull up the power league. Because Southwest has 18, 17, and 16.
Yep. And where do we put Southern Stars? 8?
7.
7. Okay, there you go. So, yeah. As for the Northeast, I believe they have 8, 9,
13, 14,
13, 14,
15.
15. Yep. So there you go. Uh, yeah, that's really all we have for the Southern Stars Lakers game. Moving on to,
And then you got the Southeast that has 4 of the top 5 teams.
yeah, Southeast is just insane. It's a
Yeah.
it's a bloodbath. And then there's St. Paul Johnson, who is unfortunately the sacrifice of that division. Yeah, I mean they're just doing rituals and dark magic stuff over there. I don't know what's going on in the Southeast. All I know is that the governors are being sacrificed to the gods, and you know it. Something about they want something about they want all to get to the state tournament, but they have to sacrifice one of the teams, and unfortunately that team just so happens to be St. Paul Johnson. I don't know. I'm just saying stuff. That was dark. I'm so sorry. Anyway, moving on to a non-conference game. Speaking of sacrifices, oh god, this Strikers team might not just be sacrificed. This is the Thunderbolts are just a really good team. We've got the South Washington Thunderbolts.
If anybody from South Washington happens to stumble across this video or watch it, have mercy.
Have mercy.
At least a little bit.
Yeah, like, get to 10 goals and then, like, you know, start cooling it down. You know what I mean? Like, if you can get 10 goals before the halftime, don't. You know, try to average 5 goals per half. That's all I'm asking. You know, calm down.
What's the most goals put up in a CI game this year? It's like 17, right?
17 or 18, yeah. We had a 17-0 between.
We had a 17-0.
We had a 17-0. Yeah, I'm just going straight to the Robbinsdale's games. Yeah, it looks like 17-0 is going to be. Can you blame me?
No,
exactly.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I wouldn't go to that game because I think some dark magic's going on there, and I'm scared of the Thunderbolts. I'm not. This is all a joke. This is all joking. God, this has had a real sacrificial theme so far, hasn't it?
This is off to a great start already.
Oh, great start. Yeah, let's go straight on to the games of the week on Monday. And we've got PI Anoka-Hennepin Mustangs in Robbinsdale to take on the Robins. This should be a really good game. I believe they're ranked 6th and 7th, right? Or is it 5th and 7th?
I think it's 5 and 7. No, Dakota is 7, I believe.
5 and 6. That's right. You're right. My fault. 5 and 6. Yep.
Yeah, 5 and 6. Robbinsdale 2 and 3. Anoka 1 and 4.
But all 4 of those losses have came against the top 4 in the division. So.
Yep.
Yeah, Anoka has looked really good defensively. They've had some really good games, especially the one against Minneapolis, I believe it was. Yeah, I mean, let's just list them off here. A 6-0 loss to Park, but that's Park. They're really good.
That's expected, to be honest.
A 2-1 loss to Rochester, a 3-1 loss to Minneapolis, a 3-2 win against Humboldt, and then a 2-1 loss against South Suburban. So most of their games have been really close. Like, I mean, that's 3 one-goal games in their last 4 games. Like, the very close games. What that tells me about Anoka is that they're a defensive rock. And from what I saw and from what I saw about Robbinsdale, they have a very defensive-oriented team, with the exception of Hector Vega Flores and Tim Vang.
Yep.
And Hector, he's a very offensive player. He's a very good striker. Tim Vang, he's more on the side. He's more of a winger, but he can do some damage too. But overall, they're a more defensive-oriented team. They have a wheelchair, a walker, and then another player just standing in front of the net. So they effectively have 3 wheelchairs plus Abby, who's basically the sweeper, and of course their goalie and Sean, who's been surprising so far. And always remember, this is another rivalry game. I mean, Anoka and Robbinsdale have been rivals, and normally Robbinsdale has the upper hand, but this time it could go really either way. Yeah, Anoka, Robbinsdale, it's always a fun match. I remember before I started playing, I went to the state tournament, right? And there were only 2 teams with actual teams in the North, in the PI North, right? Because Park didn't have a team. That means these 2 teams were the only teams in the PI North. That means they faced each other 6 times over the course of the season. That year.
Robbinsdale won all 6.
Robbinsdale won all 6. They were 6-0. Anoka was 0-6. But that doesn't matter now. That was a few years back. So, yeah, just a fun little story between these 2. Rivals, but again, I think it's friendly rivalry. Not quite friendly to the point of Rochester, Dakota, but still an overall friendly rivalry, which is always nice to see. Anyway, with that, let's move on to another huge rivalry. We've talked about this in one of our previous videos. Lakeville, Burnsville, Farmington at Dakota. Border battle. I mean, come on. This is one of the best rivalries of the CI division, no?
Yep.
Dakota
Absolutely.
won their first game, their first head-to-head game, 5-2 earlier in the season. If Dakota wins, they improve to 6-1-2 on the season. And I mean, they're going. The Blazing Cats are headed into Hope Fieldhouse, which, as we have said multiple times throughout this series, it's a very difficult place to play in. Very tough place to play.
And if you remember what I mentioned in the Power Rankings video, I said Rochester in the PI division ended up beating the Hawks for the first time since Hope Fieldhouse has opened.
Yep.
That just shows you the absolute wagon of a run that the Hawks are at Hope Fieldhouse.
Yeah. It's a great place for the home team to play, but it is not a fun place for the away team to play at. And, I mean, yeah, as we've said in our previous Games of the Week video, this is a huge rivalry. I mean, come on, it's Hawks versus Cats. These 2 teams have played each other in the past 4 soccer state championship games. 4 straight. And, I mean, even their logos don't want to look at each other. Like, I mean...
Yeah.
Even the logos don't want to look at each other, so, you know.
Yeah.
That tells you a lot. But as I said, the Hawks went into Lakeville, and they won that game 5-2 earlier in the season. Now the Blazing Cats are coming to Hope Fieldhouse. We'll see what they can do. With that, let's move on to the Tuesday games, non-game of the week. We've got Hawks v. Hawks. St. Paul Humboldt going in to Hope Fieldhouse in a bottom 2 matchup. I know it feels surreal to be saying the Dakota United Hawks PI team is a bottom 2 team in the division.
Yeah.
It feels surreal.
That's crazy.
After...
I mean, it hurts. Just it feels like almost like a stab in the chest.
It really does.
Yeah,
really does, because
it's just sad.
As we have said multiple times, we were both Dakota Hawks for the past, well, Reese for the past
for me,
6 years, for me 4 years. 3 2/3 if you want to be technical. But I mean, still, like, it feels surreal to not have Dakota United in the top 4 simply because of goalkeeping and defense.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and now here they are, bottom feeders with the other Hawks. Hawks v
It's also
Hawks. Yep, it's also senior
senior
night.
night at Hope
Yep,
Fieldhouse.
absolutely. Yeah, senior night, Hope Fieldhouse. We'll see what they can do. I mean, I do wonder how the offense will adapt to the wheelchair goalie that St. Paul Humboldt tends to have.
Yeah.
I
Who knows? Maybe they move Dylan back to net after
They might.
watching,
I haven't been
after
impressed.
seeing whatever has happened these past couple of weeks. Because, yeah, I almost think you have to at that point.
Yeah, I mean, in the last game alone against Rochester, Dakota's goalkeeper scored 2 own goals. Which, if you don't know much about soccer, scoring an own goal isn't good.
Yeah.
It means you scored on yourself. Don't do that unless if it's in practice. In practice, it's kind of funny, but in the game, don't do it. One of the STMA players are watching. I don't know who it is. I don't care who it is, but score an own goal in practice just to see everybody's reaction. Trust me, I think it would be really funny. Or don't trust me. This is coming from me. I wouldn't trust
Don't
me.
listen to him. Don't do that.
That's fair. That's a fair reaction.
I've also scored one. I tried clearing it, banked off the chair,
Yep.
and yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one clear as day because it tied the game up. I'm pretty sure. Or was that to take the lead?
I think that might have been to take the lead.
That's even worse.
Yes.
Obviously, the goalie wasn't expecting that. And the goalie's still a bit bitter about that. As you can tell by my reaction. The goalie was not pleased as Reese kicked the ball into his own wheelchair and into the back of his own net. The goalie was very displeased. I almost went over there and assaulted him. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. We're not going to talk about that. Moving on, we've got Park Maple Grove Osseo going down to Rochester. Gonna have themselves a time. Friendly faces everywhere. Humble folks without temptation. Sorry, every time I say
No.
every time I say that, I have to do the South Park intro. I hope you understand.
Fair enough, I guess.
Ample parking day or night. People shouting howdy neighbor. Oh, God. Anyway, yeah, going down to Rochester.
I would have almost put this as a game of the week.
I was thinking about it. But there are so many good games. There were like 9-10 games that could have been game of the week. And we had to narrow it down to 6. Unfortunately, Pirates Raiders were one of the cuts because the Pirates have been an absolute wagon. Raiders haven't been as much of a wagon as the Pirates, but the Raiders are definitely a second half team. I have been impressed with the goalkeeping in Rochester as well. This could be a very interesting game, could be a very good game. I still have the Pirates by 3.5. 4.5, sorry. But still, I mean, this could very well be closer than that.
I think it comes down to goalkeeping. I mean,
It very much could.
Park has rotated keepers.
Yep.
They have had Audie, I think they had Evan in net for one, and then they have Lincoln in for one. So they've had rotated goalkeepers, whereas Rochester, Michael Brown, been a wall back there. And the reason why I would have put this as a game of the week just considering like how evenly matched these teams are.
Yeah.
Like in soccer, hockey, and softball even. Like that's, but I completely understand for not, because like you said, we had to cut down to 6. I mean, what do they do for? Doesn't say. Okay. I was trying to see who they had in net for against Robbinsdale.
Okay.
It did. They didn't post anything about that, but they had Audie in net against Minneapolis.
Yeah.
And they had Evan in a chair,
Which
was interesting to me.
is weird, to say the least. I mean,
And I think he scored too.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. If anybody's going to be able to score in a wheelchair, it's probably Evan.
Yeah.
Although Bennett would be hilarious.
There once was a Pirate Crew Bolt who toppled the champs 4-2 told, Searcy back 2, Pfeiffer shown through, and Bartlett from distance struck gold.
From distance,
So,
too.
What that means is they probably moved him out of the chair, which is probably illegal.
It is, yeah.
Do that.
I have read through the rule book multiple times. You cannot. So once you're in a chair, you can sub out for another chair, and a mobile player can go in a chair. But once a mobile player is in the chair, they cannot sub out and come back in as a mobile player. You can do it the opposite way, like you can go out as a mobile player and then sub in for one of the chairs, but you can't do it the other way around. So, yeah, just a little PI rule knowledge there. And that only goes for soccer. Maybe softball too, I would have to look at the softball rule book. But for hockey, you can take a mobile player out of the chair and then put him right on the floor. I almost said the ice, but you know.
It's that ice hockey brain ears.
It really is that ice hockey brain. Could you imagine that happening in ice hockey? Imagine a goalie, right? He's got like player gear under his goalie gear. That would suck, by the way.
Yeah.
And like when he's when the coach wants him to be a player and be a skater out there, imagine that for empty nets. You just take off the pads and then you go out there in your player gear. You take off the pads in the crease, right? You run by the bench, grab a stick. Although, I don't know if that's legal.
It doesn't sound.
Hey, I don't think it's in the rule book, okay? No, it's also not in the rule book. Roller skates. Anyways, yeah, roller skates isn't in the rule book anywhere.
None of this even really relates to the topic.
It really doesn't. I just listen. I just want to point out that hey, if it's not in the rule book, you could try it out. It might be counted as dangerous equipment, but it's worth a shot.
Yeah, I guess so.
Somebody try that for floor hockey. I want to see what the ref thinks. A center for a CI team brings some rollerblades. I want to know what the ref thinks. Anyways. Where are we? CI Northeast.
North Tartan White Bear.
North Tartan White Bear. Yeah, this might genuinely be the second crucifixion of the week.
It was 10-1 in favor of Tartan.
That's not as bad as I expected.
But also, then again, not much really needs to be said.
Yeah, that's yeah. Yeah, a 9-goal win is pretty big. I'm not tired, I'm sorry. Yeah, a 9-goal win in soccer is a big win, and Tartans just looked really good. So yeah, that's really all we've got for the Tartan White Bear game. Let's move on to CI Northwest. We've got Anoka-Hennepin Mustangs taking on the Monticello STMA Buffalo Coyotes in Monticello. And I mean, hey, I know we've been saying good things about this Mustang goalkeeper all along, but like he's had one good game from what I've seen. Let me go to the Northwest here. Anoka-Hennepin. Yeah, I mean,
It was 11-1 last time.
11-1 was their last game, but that was over a month and a half ago, almost a month and a half ago. It was on September 16th. And we are recording this on October 26th. It'll be October 27th by the time that you see this. Well, it's going to be October 27th in 9 minutes. So, yeah, I'm going to set a timer for 8 minutes. Just so I can say,
Why?
hey, it's October 27th now. And be a little funny guy. Anyways, yeah, this Coyotes team has looked really good, and I don't see that stopping anytime soon. They should have a smooth ride into the state tournament, and then once it gets to the state tournament, it's going to be. They're going to face really tough competition. I mean, I know we speculated about it in the last video. It could very well be the second year in a row where the Hawks face the Coyotes. The Dakota United Hawks face the STMA Buffalo Monticello Coyotes in the first round. It could very well be the second year in a row.
Very well could be.
That's.
And I don't know how you feel, but I really like what STMA did with their formation. If you remember from the Maple Grove or the park, STMA, they had that like 3-3 formation where they had a center, 2 wings, and 3 in the back line with the goalie.
Yeah, it was. I wouldn't say it was a 3-3. I would say it was a 3-2-1. Because the 2 wings were more middle fielders, and of course you had the 3 back. Some may even call it a 2-1-2-1. And yeah, I really like that formation. I think it's very good for the CI division. Most CI teams, from what I've seen,
works.
And from what I have seen, most CI teams play either a 3-1-2, a 3-3, or what we were just saying, the 3-2-1. And yeah, I mean, it's worked out really well. Sometimes that might change into a 3-1-2 depending on what you need. And yeah, I mean, I've really liked the formation this Coyotes team has been using. It's worked out very well. You know, I just noticed that we haven't talked much about formations at all.
Absolutely, yeah. It just kind of crossed over my mind too.
Yeah, we haven't talked about formations really at all. And yeah, for the CI division, I feel like the 2-1-1-2 or the 2-1-2-1, maybe even a more aggressive like 2-1-0-3, you know, like those might be things to try out. But yeah, I really like the 3-2-1. If you don't know what we mean by any of these numbers, the first number we say is the amount of defense, right? The second number is either defense middle fielders or just straight up middle fielders. The third number is either attacking middle fielders or just straight up strikers, and the fourth number is always strikers. It depends if there's 3 or 4 numbers. If there's 3 numbers, the third number is strikers. Yeah. That could be a topic for a whole nother video, honestly, if we want to do a video prior to playoffs. You know, talking about different formations that could be used in both divisions, because obviously PI division is completely different from the CI division.
Yeah, I mean, you and I have probably seen it all in the PI division.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a 2-0-2, we've seen 2-2-0s, we've seen we normally used the 112, right?
Yeah.
Um, Sometimes that would change into a 0112 or even a 022 depending on what we need, of course.
Yeah.
Obviously, Humboldt uses a 221 because they have a wheelchair and net, so they get an extra mobile player out there. So, yeah, I mean, there's just so many formations that we could go over. And, yeah, that could honestly be a good one to touch on, like, right before playoffs.
Depending on when they start, that is.
Well, I'm guessing they're going to start next week. That's my best guess. But we'll see. Anyway, moving on, let's just move straight on to the non-conference game. We've got Centennial Spring Lake Park at St. Cloud. This one was another one that's close to being a game of the week, but again, we had to cut down to 6. And this one just missed the cut. I mean, St. Cloud hasn't looked their best recently, I would say. I mean, let me look at St. Cloud here. I take that back. They just played STMA. Never mind. I take all of that back. They're coming off of a very tough, close loss to the team we have been ranking second for a while. They just dropped down to third in STMA Buffalo Monticello. I mean, a 3-2 loss. It's a almost win. You know, a couple bounces. You know, all of a sudden it's a 4-3, 3-3. You know. And Centennial just, they've looked all right at best. I mean, they've had some moments of greatness, but I think we've said this multiple times, goalkeeping is holding them back. I hate to say it, but, like, I do not like the Centennial goalkeepers. I hate to dog on them, but, like, from what I've seen, it's just not it, you know? Hate to say it, but gotta tell the truth, and sometimes the truth is brutal. Anyway,
now,
go ahead.
I know this was a different team last year for both of Centennial and St. Cloud, but St. Cloud beat them 7-3 last year.
Yep. Yeah, this Centennial team,
I don't know if that really means anything at this point in time, but I just thought I'd want to point that out there.
Yeah, I'm going to guess this Centennial team lost quite a few players because they had a pretty good season last year. And I don't know if it's just like the division realignment or if they lost a superstar or what happened, but yeah, we'll see what they can do against St. Cloud on Tuesday. With that, let's move on to the games of the week. We've got PI South Suburban Flyers at Minneapolis South Tigers. Now, this is on here because this is the game for the second seed, really. South Suburban, if they upset Minneapolis, which right now the spread I've got is 2.5 in favor of Minneapolis. Now, here's the thing about Minneapolis. Let me get over to the PI division. If you could you pull up the South Suburban scores? I'll pull up Minneapolis.
Reed? Yeah, I can do that.
All right, awesome. So I'm looking at Minneapolis's scores, and let's just compare them to what South Suburban did against each team, shall we?
Yeah.
Just tell me when you're there.
Okay, I'm there.
All right, so their first game, Minneapolis's first game was against Rochester, who they beat 5-1. Awkward silence. It is October 27th.
Yeah. Oh God. Okay. Do you want me to read off South Suburban?
Yeah.
It still says -3. I don't know why it says that, but I think I mentioned it in a past thing, and it was 8-1, I believe.
Yep, it was 8-1 against Humboldt, who Minneapolis, they only beat Humboldt by a score of 5-2. So
Was that their second game? Or
that was their second game, yes.
Okay. South Suburban Dakota United, a 4-2 win for South Suburban.
So Dakota United played Minneapolis South just the other day on the 23rd, and Minneapolis South won by a score of 9-1.
Has Minneapolis played Rochester?
They have. Yep, that was their first game of the season.
All right. It says South Suburban 2, Rochester 1.
Yep. So South Suburban beat Rochester 2-1. Minneapolis beat Rochester 5-1.
Okay. Robbinsdale.
Doesn't not say on South Suburban's either.
It does not. 6-1 Flyers.
Yeah, it was 6-1 Flyers. And if I remember correctly, it was 8-3 Minneapolis. I could be wrong about that, though.
I think it was 8-1.
Was it 8-1? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the real interesting one here, because obviously South Suburban hasn't played Park yet. Minneapolis has. But the most interesting game here is Anoka-Hennepin. Reese,
Absolutely.
if you would, please, what was South Suburban's score against Anoka-Hennepin?
2-1, a Flyers win on the road.
Minneapolis beat Anoka-Hennepin, also on the road, 3-1. Just slightly better. So, I mean, these scores, some of them are comparable. Most of them are comparable.
What's the goal differentials? I'm sure Minneapolis is probably inflated because
let me... So, actually, no. Minneapolis South has a plus 14 goals differential. The Flyers have a plus 17.
Okay. All right. Not as inflated as I thought it was because that 9-1 win over Dakota.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know if I included that, actually. We don't talk about that. Okay. Anyways, yeah, I mean...
We're not here to dog on any team.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, this will be a very interesting game. And as I said, I mean, assuming Park beats the Flyers, right? This is for the 2 seed in state. This could very well be the game... this could be a semifinal matchup, right?
Absolutely, yeah. It more than likely will be. I feel like. And but in the semifinals is going to be Park, Rochester, and then these two teams you see in front of you right here, South Suburban, Minneapolis.
And now let's take it back to last year for a second. Imagine saying that this would have been a game of the week last year. South Suburban versus Minneapolis. Just imagine saying that this would have been a game of the week this year. If I would have told you a year ago today that this was going to be a game of the week the following season, like, I don't know what I would have done. That would have been insane. Because Minneapolis South was really good last year. In South Suburban, they didn't win a game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, we're here now. The present is all that matters. Simple as that. Anyway, with that, let's move on to the second game of the week. We got fourth game of the week, actually. Second game of the day. You know what I'm saying. We got the Mounds View Irondale Rams in Stillwater taking on the Ponies. Now, I was privileged enough to watch these teams play. The cat wants into my room. I was privileged enough to watch these two teams play the first time. I remember it being 6-4. The website says 6-3. I know for a fact it was 6-4. And yeah, Stillwater had some very impressive players. Mounds View, however, they were down a player. They didn't have their top 4 players there. They were down one of their top 4. Now that I believe they're all back, all of a sudden, you know, this could be a really, really good game. Stillwater has...
I mean, I'm looking at Mounds View right now.
Yep.
Considering it was 8-3 against Centennial, I'm sure everybody's back.
Yeah.
And in the first game, they lost 9-3 in Centennial.
Yep. Yeah, and I was able to watch like the last 10 minutes of that game too, and Centennial was completely outclassing them. It was as simple as that. Although I do remember a funny moment in that game. Centennial got a penalty kick, and what they did with it is they passed it. They passed it to another player, and then they shot it in the net. They just let them redo the penalty kick because I don't even know. It's too complicated. Anyways, yeah. Rams Ponies. This could very well be a good game. This could very well be a trap game for the Ponies. We'll see what they can do. Because this Rams team somehow, and I do not know how this is, the Rams have had better results against better opponents. Minus the Park game. We don't talk about the Park game.
And the White Bear game.
Well, I would guarantee you that they were missing most of their players for that. But still, you know, like... They, from what I have seen, they have had better results against better teams. Like, how do you tie North Tartan and lose to Stillwater-Mahtomedi? But barely lose to Stillwater-Mahtomedi. But then lose to Centennial, like, a week later. You know, it just doesn't make sense because Centennial has looked like the worst team below the Ponies. Anyway, that's just another tangent that I could go on, but we're not going to go there. Instead, we will just move on to Wednesday's non-game of the week. This is closing day for PI. We've got...
And Mounds View also had a better result against Hart.
Yes.
3-3 draw.
Yep, 3-3 draw.
Stillwater lost them twice, I believe.
Yes. It was 8-6 and 6-5.
Yeah. Close games, but...
Yeah, close games, but...
Mounds View did have the better results.
Well, it's better to get 1 point than 0 points in the standings.
Absolutely, yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to the Wednesday non-game of the week games, and we've got PI South Suburban at Park, and this is basically the same talking points as the Minneapolis South Suburban game. It's just that Park beat Minneapolis. So, whatever South Suburban does against Minneapolis, Park will be watching that. Well, they won't be watching that, but you get what I mean.
They'll probably be watching my Instagram feed and
Absolutely.
your Twitter feed for the result.
Absolutely. Yeah, this could very well be a very good game, but again...
Are we looking at a South Suburban 1 seed here if South Suburban beats Minneapolis and then goes up to Park Center and beats the Pirates?
Yes.
That's crazy.
If South Suburban, they control their own destiny. If they win both games, they're the 1 seed. If Park wins both of their games, they're the 1 seed. If somehow both teams get extra disqualified and both teams everybody gets red cards, so they both get disqualified, then I think Minneapolis somehow gets the 1 seed, but that's not going to happen. It would be hilarious if that happened. It's not going to happen. But,
yeah.
Yeah, this is basically the same talking points as the Minneapolis game, and South Suburban, this is a back half of a back-to-back game. So, same with the Pirates, I believe, if I remember correctly. Yeah,
no.
Pirates faced the Raiders the previous day.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yep. So, I mean, it's a back half of back-to-backs, but which one's going to be the tougher back-to-back? Let's be honest here. It's South Suburban, because the Pirates and the Tigers are the two top teams in the division. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
There is that. That's pretty much all I got for the Flyers Pirates. Moving on to the Raiders Robins. This is a battle between the most successful dynasty in PI division versus a franchise with exactly one state championship. That was back in 2003, before I was born. Yeah, the Robins are
A juggernaut. They're just like the greatest team of all time.
yeah, I mean, if we're looking
Past
at
38 state championships.
Yep. Yeah.
Including like a run of 5 or 6 straight.
Yeah, I believe it was it 6 straight across all 3 sports, or was it only 5 across one of the sports and then 6 across the other 2? Because I know it was 6 in soccer.
No.
It doesn't matter. This is all in the past.
Yeah.
We're talking about the present now. And the present Raiders are looking slightly better than the present Robins, I would say.
This was a 5-2 game last year.
It was a
Favor of the
pretty close
Raiders.
game, yeah. But then again, both teams lost huge pieces.
Yup.
But the Raiders kept their goalkeeper. The Raiders kept their sweeper. And Cooper, while he didn't impress me against Dakota, he was still definitely a presence against Dakota. The Robins, on the other hand, yes, they have Hector. Yes, they have Tim. Yes, they have Abby. And Sean's been surprisingly good. However, I don't know. I think this will be a defensive war.
Absolutely.
I really think this will be a defensive war. And just remember, the Raiders, they have very aggressive wheelchairs.
Yeah, they will go after those balls in the corners. They'll try and trap them.
They will be
try
in
and
the
get back to
corners.
the goalie.
Yeah, and I really like that strategy. There's only one thing that I dislike about the Raiders, but I'm not going to get into that. And, yeah, I mean, the Robins, the Robins are the Robins. They may not be the same old Robins that we're all used to, but the Robins are still the Robins. And when that yellow and blue comes onto the field, you know that you're facing one of the top dynasties in adapted sports.
Absolutely, yep.
You know, this is completely off topic, but it won't take long. I wonder how many teams in the history of the PI division have beaten both Robbinsdale and Dakota in the same year.
Minneapolis just last year.
Well, I'm saying like overall, like even in the years where, you know, it was really either the Robins were dominant or the Hawks were dominant or both were dominant. You know, I wonder how many teams have had that honor of beating both of the pillars of the division in the same year. I don't think it's as many as you would imagine. Yes, in past years, obviously Brainerd, Minneapolis, Rochester technically, Park, but we're not talking about last year. We're talking about the entirety of ever, right? Anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there. Moving on to CI Southwest, we got Robbinsdale Hopkins Mount Westonka Robins going to Columbia Heights, St. Anthony Fridley to face the Strikers. If I remember correctly, the Strikers won their last game 14-2. And yeah, I mean the CI Robins are the CI Robins. They have 3 state championship appearances. They haven't made a state tournament since 2006.
And this was a 15-1 game.
Oh, it was 15-1.
Yeah.
Okay. I stand corrected.
Or were you talking about the Strikers' last game overall was 14-2?
Oh, that's what I was thinking of. Okay. That's what I was thinking of.
But
There
yeah,
you
this
go.
was a 15-1 win in favor of the Strikers in
Yep.
Robbinsdale.
Yeah, and that was in Robbinsdale. Now they're going to Columbia Heights, and yeah, we'll see what happens. You know, I know we've had quite a sacrificial vibe, and this last game is no different whatsoever. Minnetonka-Wayzata is going to Lakeville, Burnsville, Farmington to face the Blazing Cats. Blazing Cats.
I think I mentioned I think I mentioned this to you a couple months ago, and I'm like, why are these two teams playing each other? And then you're just like, don't ask questions.
Yeah, well, that's normally my reaction to mostly anything. Yeah, the Blazing Cats might turn into, I don't know, lions, tigers, cheetahs, or something, and the Lakers might turn into, like, a bug. And, you know, there's. I hate to say it, I really love Minnetonka. I really do. I say this every single video, but they were the first. Minnetonka High School was the first team to follow me on Twitter. And yeah, but I just can't deny the facts. I mean, the Blazing Cats have looked really good. Minnetonka's won 2 games. Blazing Cats are ranked 5th, I believe. Lakers are ranked 17th out of 18. There's really not much to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, just Blazing Cats, Lakeville, Burnsville, Farmington, whatever you do, don't use them for rituals because that's just screwed up. I know we said this about the St. Paul Johnson team too, but like, you know, we're just be nice.
It's becoming very satanic.
Do you remember what we said about St. Paul Johnson, or what I said about St. Paul Johnson at the very beginning? There had to be a sacrifice in that division. Yeah. And unfortunately, it ended up being St. Paul Johnson.
There's a sacrifice in every division, I feel like.
Maybe. If you want to count White Bear Lake in there, if you want to count Robbinsdale in there, if you want to count, what are they called? Anoka, I wouldn't say is a sacrifice, though.
Yeah.
White Bear Lake and Robbinsdale, I could see. In the PI division, Humboldt Hawks have been the sacrifice since as long as I've been in the division.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Games of the week, we've got PI Dakota Hawks at Anoka-Hennepin Mustangs. This could be a very good game. Dakota Hawks, I've liked their offense. I've really liked Steph Nora and Dylan Burns stepping up. I've liked the sweeper position. I've really liked what Sammy has done back there. Maybe not up to par with a certain someone who's also talking in this video.
Yeah.
But she's been really good back there. Didn't you say 2 goals in the past 2 games?
2 goals last week. One on a penalty kick.
Yeah.
She just
really?
Smashed it top corner.
She took a penalty kick, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Took a penalty kick, just smashed it top corner. I'm like,
she has
okay.
She has a better percentage on penalty kicks than I do.
Yeah. And then I think she had one against Rochester, I believe, no?
Yes, she had one from downtown against Rochester, yep. Yeah.
Was it just like a misplay from the keeper, or was it like actually a...
I think the keeper... I don't think the keeper was expecting it to squeak by the chairs.
Okay, alright. Yeah, I feel like that happens with most, but like, I'm sure, like, when teams saw me back there, a 17 with a rocket of a left leg, I'm sure they were expecting it to go at least either out of play or to the keeper.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to remember, the goalkeeper had a bit of a leg too, right? And, yeah, I mean, the thing about the guy who was in net for us, you know, he had 2 good legs. He could kick with the left and the right. More power on the right, more accuracy on the left. But anyway, enough talking about me and Reese. We're talking about the present Hawks, and one thing I've not liked about the present Hawks is
Goalkeeping.
I hate to say it. It's just, it's not it. I think Dylan's a good goalkeeper, right? However, Dylan's the striker
He
most
has
of the time.
potential.
He has potential. He absolutely has potential. I think he needs to be more fearless in net.
Yeah.
The other goalkeeper on the team is barely as tall as the net. And one thing you gotta have to be a goalkeeper is at least a little bit of height. And that's one of the things slowing her down, but I can't dog on her too much. She did make some good plays. Especially when the ball was in the corner. I really liked her positioning when the ball was in the corner, right? But it's not the same. She also doesn't have the arm power. I'm sorry. That's just how it is. I'm so sorry if you're watching this, but I genuinely think that she would be better as a winger. I think they should put Steph Nora at center. Sammy can stay at sweeper, and then I think Dylan's all right in that.
Yeah.
Overall, I feel like with the PI Hawks this year, I've been impressed with some of their results. Like
Absolutely.
4-2 against South Suburban, 3-2 against Robbinsdale, and a 7-4 against Rochester. I mean, those are
which they were winning at half, by the way.
Those are decent results during a not so great year.
Yeah.
And yes, you've had two absolute blowouts that we will not get into because it is 12:22 a.m. and I don't have the energy to get into it right now.
Yeah, he's a bit tired from all that college stuff. Anyway, moving on to Anoka-Hennepin, I think we've already talked a lot about them. I feel like they're a very defensive rock. A lot like how the Dakota Hawks were last year. Can the Hawks break through that defense? The answer is I don't know. They might. I'm not going up to Andover to find out. Reese, you're going to have a flight to to MSP the day of... No, no, you're not. No, you're not. I'm just messing with you. Anyway, yeah, that's really all we've got for this game, I believe. We have, game of the week here. South Suburban Jets, South Washington Thunderbolts. I mean, I feel like the Thunderbolts are in at least one of these games every week, and I mean, you can't blame us. They're a hell of a team. They are a very, very good team. South Suburban Jets have had some very, very good games. Question is, can they keep up with the Thunderbolts? We'll have to see if the Jets are supersonic or not, because they got to go the speed of lightning to keep up. I had to. I'm so sorry. I had to.
But yeah, they've had some really good results. I mean, a tie against Dakota, a tie against Lakeville.
Yep.
That was early on in the year, so they started 1-0-2, and then just this past week they beat Lakeville 1-0.
Yeah.
Or 1-0 for you soccer fanatics out there. And then they lost 6-2 against Dakota, which then again is Dakota.
Yeah. Yeah, which, that last game, the Dakota game, it puts me at a crossroads because obviously Dakota drew the Thunderbolts, right? The Jets drew the Dakota Hawks earlier in the season, but now later in the season they lost to the Dakota Hawks 6-2, which is kind of a big loss, kind of close. It's in that gray area.
Yeah.
Thunderbolts have been a complete wagon. They're 6-0-1. They're a complete wagon. I've got Thunderbolts minus 3.5. Yeah, I don't think there's much else really to say about this game. God dang it. Sorry for yawning so much. I didn't get much sleep. Um, yeah, Jets Thunderbolts. This could be a very good game. It is in South Washington,
In the Thunderdome.
in the Thunderdome. It's not at the airport or whatever you want to call the Jets place. I don't know.
We need to come up with like nicknames for every like home.
I asked
GM.
ChatGPT not that long ago about it, and it came up with some good ones, but some that just were okay at best. I'll send them all to you later.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I really got nothing much
Yeah.
else to say.
Yeah, I've got nothing much else to say about this one. And then the final game of the regular season. Mountains View Irondale okay, wow, Jesus. Yeah, it is certainly 12:26 a.m. Anyway, Mounds View, Irondale, Roseville, Rams at North Tartan Polars. I have confirmed that I will be going to this game.
All right.
I'll be in North
North
Tartan.
Tartan's the most comical,
Yeah.
tiny net.
Very small goals, yes. From what I've seen from the pictures. Apparently one of my other cousins will be there, too. He's a year younger than my cousin who's on the Rams. Oh my god, he could absolutely be in North Tartan Polar next year, if he wants to.
Oh, really?
I'm trying...
Is he from that area? Or...
Yeah, North St. Paul, yeah. He might even
Okay.
be going to Tartan, I'm not 100% sure. But he could... I've got another cousin who could very well be a Polar next year. He's a 6th grader now, his name's Trevor. Great kid. Very disciplined, very protective of his little brother. And I think he might just qualify. I think he might be able to qualify for the CI division. I'm not 100% sure. But he
A little
might.
bit of a cousin rivalry.
I know,
if
right?
he decides to
Oh my
join.
god. Yeah.
Can you imagine the Thanksgiving talks or like at Christmas? That would probably divide those two, I feel like.
And I'm just there as a former player in the other division.
Yeah, like you're just a guy who now does this.
I'm just there who's willing to help out any team who asks for help.
Anyway.
I seriously, by the way, I know this is completely off topic.
3-3 and that was in Mountains View.
Yep. It was a 3-3 draw. Tried to say tie and draw at the same time like an idiot. Draw. 3-3 draw. In Mounds View. Now they're going to North Tartan. This could either be very low scoring because of the size of the nets, or somehow completely lopsided.
If they're still the same nets.
If they're still the same nets. Very possible than not. Either way, I'll be there. I'll be watching this game. I'll be criticizing both teams. And yeah, I think that's about it. I've got nothing else.
Yeah.
If you need to contact me, you can at EverythingMNAdapted@gmail.com or on X at AllMinnesotaAdapted or Facebook, of course, at EverythingMinnesotaAdapted. I just downloaded Messenger, so you can contact me through there. Or you can contact Reese at his Instagram at NorthstarAdaptive. Thank you all for watching. And by the way, I seriously meant what I said. If any like coach, parent, anything, if they want me to come out to a practice or game and talk with some of the kids or teach them a few things, criticize them, give them some constructive criticism on their game, I am completely willing to do that for any team. I don't care if it's PICI division, but in soccer, I was a former goalkeeper, as you all know. In hockey, I have 109 career goals in 53 games, which is second or third all time on the PI Dakota Hawks. First all time from Egan. I have an amazing shot. And in softball, I could pitch breaking balls. So, yeah, if you want me to come out to one of your practices, just tell me and I'll try to get there. Hopefully it's not too far away. Yeah, I would not refuse any team that isn't Brainerd. Yeah.
I would be willing to do the same thing. The only issue is
You're kind of in college in South Dakota, yes?
yeah, like 100 some miles away.
Yeah.
4 hours.
The closest team to you is probably Mankato, no? Or is it New Prague?
Yeah. Might be. I can.
Look it up
Look.
after. Look it up after.
I'm doing it right now.
Okay.
There's nothing you can do to stop me.
That works, honestly. Yeah.
Mankato is 2.5.
Okay. There you go.
And New Prague, you said?
New Prague, yep.
That's 3 hours.
Okay, so there you go. Hey, Mankato, you got a guy 2.5 hours away, dog.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll be willing to make that trip. Anyways,
I mean, I'd be hoping to over like my Christmas break or something like that, because I don't go back to like mid-January. So like, even then, I could do that.
Yeah, drop by. What do they call it? The Franklin Elementary. Is that where they play, or Franklin Middle?
Yep,
I think it's
Franklin
elementary. Yeah, we love Mankato. We've always loved Mankato. They're such a new team. The Coyotes are too. We love both of those teams. They're so new and so precious. They're so great. We love both of those teams. I want to see you two in the state championship next season. This season.
Yeah.
I would love to see a Mankato Coyote. I would love to see a Mankato Knights, STMA Buffalo Monticello Coyotes state championship game this season in floor hockey. Do what it takes. Do whatever it takes. Don't be dirty though. Don't be a dirty player. Don't get penalties.
Don't be like me.
6 minutes of penalty minutes tops. Don't be like Reese, who got a 5-minute major for cross-checking a guy in the head. Like an idiot. Anyways, this has been going on for almost an hour and 8 minutes, so we're gonna go. It's always awesome. We love making these videos, and we don't plan on stopping anytime soon. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Yeah. Have a great week. Stay healthy. No injuries. Any of you. I don't care if you're playing or not. No injuries. Alright, see ya. Bye. No sacrifices either.
Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry. I'm dragging this out too long. I need this view time in minutes. I'm sorry. I'll click stop recording now in 3, 2, 1. Goodbye.